right at the end of the corridor, as far as you can go. And we're in. Ooh, very posh. Right folks, we've arrived at the Hilton Carlton George Hotel. What a lovely room. Look at this, beautiful. I'm speaking quite quietly though, because it's, I think it's one of these interconnecting rooms. So you can only hear people speaking, so it's not so good. But anyway, there's my room. Nice posh shower room folks, but no bath. Bonjour, j'arrive dans le Royal Mile. Very quiet on the Royal Mile today, when it is February and it's a Wednesday, so lots of free tours are going on today, lots of excursions and things. What a free tours seemingly for all the new tour guides for the summer and for the festival. They get to practice at this time of year to just to get some practice in, obviously, before they start charging. Right folks, I'm at Edinburgh Castle Esplanade. Now the Stone of Destiny is just inside one of those rooms up there, but it's £15 to get in. Yeah, I feel like a tourist here in Edinburgh today. I stayed in Edinburgh for a couple of years, did all these things when I stayed here, but you don't appreciate sometimes. We've got this on our doorstep, and looking around there's all these Japanese, American tourists who've obviously paid thousands of pounds to get here as part of a tour. So yeah, you kind of appreciate it a bit more when you see that. But anyway, tomorrow I'm going to try the bike and go scheme here, which goes from Haymarket along the canal to Falkirk, across a couple of viaducts. So weather permitting, I might give that a go. Just wait and see. And then this weekend the rugby's on, Scotland versus England, so there'll be a lot of rugby fans arriving this weekend. Now the hotel I'm in, it's really nice, the Hilton George. Now I'm quite lucky, I get that for £49 a room, but normally that's £249 per room. This weekend it goes up to £400 a room, folks. It's ridiculous because the rugby's on. So got to take these opportunities and try them out when they are here. So I think I'm going to go down the Royal Mile right down to Holyrood Park and climb a wee bit of the crags, I think. Just go for a wee wander, see what's happening. Well, that statue there, folks, of Lord, I think it's Lord Hume. You notice he's got a gold toe. From all the people rubbing it, it's meant to bring you luck. So if you're passing the Royal Mile here, rub Lord Hume's toe. And you get a lot of these old spooky closes in Edinburgh. It's worth coming down some of them, folks, just for a nosy. Look at this one. Really old, spooky and ancient, but they've also got little kind of cafes and little shops and apartments and things down them. There's many famous old ancient graveyards in Edinburgh. This is one of them. This is the Canongate, I think it is. Canongate. It's just off the Royal Mile. Now, that church there, I think that's quite famous for one or two of the royal, not the royals, but maybe the royals' kids getting married. I think Beatrice got married there, and is that her name? Well, one or two royals got married there anyway, folks. So have a wee wander around here and see if there's anybody worth looking at.
It's quite spooky down here, folks. These are all from like 17 to 1800, these graves.
I'm just going to read this. I didn't know this off by heart. This was Robert Ferguson, a poet. Now Robert Louis Stevenson was going to, what was he going to do? He was going to write an inscription on the grave, but Robert Louis Stevenson died before he could do it. But this was originally erected by Robert Burns. And this is Robert Ferguson, a poet, who died 1774. So he must have been a famous poet in his day. Robert Burns must have erected the stone, and then Robert Louis Stevenson wanted to write something on the stone, but he died before he could do it. I think that's the story. Anyway, that's here in the Canongate. Here's another one, folks, another kind of big monument. Now, I'm trying to bend down and read this one. This says that on this spot, right here where I'm standing, stood Sir Walter Scott. And he stood at the open grave of his friend and publisher, John Ballantyne. And he said these words, folks. He said, "I feel as if there would be less sunshine for me from this day forth." So his friend and publisher died, and Walter Scott stood here and said those words at his graveside. And this is him here, I think. Yep. So a lot of history here, folks. Late 1700s. That's a big tomb, that one. It's like I stepped onto a set of Outlander again, folks. Look. (1623). So once again, this is just off the Royal Mile, folks. Just go down a little close and you've got this. Very picturesque. This is just opposite the Scottish Parliament, so you've got this on one side, and I'll show you the hideous building right on the other side. Right, that's on the other side. The hideous Scottish Parliament. We're going into the Scottish Parliament, folks, to watch the debate. You've got to switch your phones off, though. Right, that was inside the Scottish Parliament building, folks. You can get a free ticket and a guide and just walk right in. You can't use your phone. Photography is strictly prohibited, but worth going in. Nicola Sturgeon was there and they were all sitting there debating the budget, but people can just walk in and out, sit in the public gallery, so it's worth checking out, folks. I don't like politics, but it was worth just going in to see it. Seeing Nicola Sturgeon speak. They were debating Brexit and budgets and all the usual stuff. So right, where are we going now? Parliament building behind me there, folks. And up in front of me we've got the crags and the dynamic earth here in Edinburgh. So we're going to have a wee look at that. Not going to pay to get in, just going to have a nosy. So that's the dynamic earth and the crags. Arthur's Seat is up behind that. And over there, that's Holyrood Palace. So all these sculptures here for the future, the past, the present, all different varieties. So that's volcanic, this one's Jurassic, and this one here is Permian Triassic.
Triassic. I like standing stones. Folks, this is Whiskey Row. Now this gate here, £40 for leaving this open. This place, folks, is a kind of concert classical museum thing. I just walked past it in the street. I think it used to be an old Masonic hall. Look at this, it's got guitars and saxophones, pianos, trombones, all the old instruments. So if you like all this kind of stuff, folks, pop in, it's all free. So that's it there, folks, the Cecilia's Hall. It's a music museum. It's just reopened again, the girl was saying, and they're having a concert in there tonight. But yeah, that's quite interesting. So if you're ever in Edinburgh at night, folks, this is the place to come. Down here, the Cowgate. Now this comes alive at night. All these kind of buildings open up. There's hidden pubs in the basements and in churches and things. So it's really busy. I used to come here after work and stay till 3, 4 in the morning, go home and get up for work again. There used to be a couple of pubs over there we used to go to, but I think they all burnt down. There was a big fire down here a few years ago, so they all burnt down and got replaced by flats. And over there, folks, that's Sneaky Pete's. That's one of Edinburgh's kind of punk bars. Sweaty, small, noisy. We used to go in there loads again when I stayed here. It was a great little pub. Very small, but great for seeing live bands. Sneaky Pete's been here for years. But behind me, folks, is one of Edinburgh's most photographed streets. So we'll go up there just in a second, and the Harry Potter shop's up there too. So we'll go and check that out. Now, folks, you don't actually realise how big the castle is until you view it from down here in the Grassmarket. This is the Grassmarket. This is where all the lively pubs are as well. Always busy down here at night time. And there's the castle just behind me again, folks. So that's the Harry Potter shop, folks, on Victoria Street in Edinburgh. You can just go in for a wander. It's like a wee museum thing. I don't know anything about Harry Potter, but that's quite good. Another recommendation. That's all for now, folks. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.